Gentlemen, may I have your attention, please?
Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Jose Shorty Torres, the Titan FC Flyweight Interim Champion.
Everyone, it's the champion.
Hey, this is Rafian Stott.
It's Bellator's Blair Tugman. This is Bilal Muhammad.
Hey guys, this is Ted Check.
This is Ron Quiet with on it.
Hey guys, this is Brennan Allen.
This is Joseph Correa, founder of Frontproof Media.
Hey, this is Ed Carbajal.
Daniel Zaldivar from Frontproof Media and Frontproof Media.
FrontproofMedia.com.
You're listening to
You're listening to
Pure Evil.
Pure Evil.
Pure Evil and
Pure Evil and
Pure Evil.
Pure Evil.
Pure Evil
Pure Evil MMA.
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 You're listening to Pure Evil MMA. You're listening to Pure Evil MMA.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to UFC 208 Odd Show here with Pure Evil MMA. I can't wait to break down this card. Last week's fights were absolutely wild. You guys remember last week's Odd Show, of course. We were going back and forth. We didn't really know what to expect in that main event, but boy, did the Korean Zombie deliver. Of course, guys, it's another Odd Show here on Pure Evil MMA, and we got the one and only Garrett to join us today. What's going on, Garrett?
What's going on, man? Thanks for having me again.
And Garrett, before we jump into anything today, man, where can all of our listeners find you, and what website are you going to be using today for the odds?
You can follow me at Garrett K MMA on Twitter. You can also check out my articles on the MMAtakeover.com. And as far as seeing the odds, I get my odds from 5Dimes. It's probably one of the better sites to put your bets through. You know, they got some of the lines that I've seen when it comes to MMA. It's the only website where you can parlay your prop bets, and by parlaying, meaning you could bring together a couple of fighters into one play, and by doing so, you can get greater odds for your money. So say you put 3 guys together, $5 can win you upwards of 3 times or even more for your money. And I know 5Dimes is the only site that lets you prop bet, parlay your prop bets.
Tomorrow night, they're making history. Or listening to this today, because we're going to be airing it in the morning. Tonight, there's going to be a historic fight between Holly Holm and Jermaine Durandamy. We're going to give you guys the odds in case you guys are at home betting, you're going out to the bar, or even if you just want to, have a couple of fun things to talk about at the bar tonight with all of your buddies to try to be like the MMA guru of the night. We got your back here. But before we jump into any of the historical fights, going on, we got to talk about last week's fight with UFC Houston. Korean Zombie. We didn't know what to really expect in this fight. He was away for 3 years. He was returning to the octagon against a very focused and dedicated Dennis Bermudez, who's just been killing it lately. And boy, did he deliver. We were all nervous. We were like, why would they put him on this card as the main event? That's a lot of pressure. And I'm not going to lie, Garrett, at the beginning of the fight, I was a little nervous. I was like, well, he doesn't look too sharp. And then all of a sudden, boom, just drops Bermudez. What was your take on that, man? That was that shocked me, man.
I mean, I did not see that coming. But then again, we already know that the Korean Zombie just has that one hit that can knock anybody out, and sure as shit, that's exactly what happened. He just clocked him with a nice little uppercut, and it was good night for this.
Well, remember last week I was like, guys, I'm not gonna tell you to put your money on it, but I'm betting for the Korean Zombie. I'm not saying it's a safe bet. I freaking right with that. I wish I told you guys to make the bet, but I was too nervous about it because we just didn't expect. So I can't wait to see what they do next with the Korean Zombie. There's rumors about him maybe fight Cub Swanson. I want to see him fight somebody like maybe Yair Rodriguez. I think that would be a pretty interesting matchup. There's a bunch of good guys to match him up with. But that's for another podcast for another day. Let's jump into this amazing fight card.
Good morning.
Starting from the very bottom, we got Ryan LaFleur against Ron Carnero. What are the odds for the fight?
So looking like Ryan is a pretty decent favorite at minus 320, while Ron Carnero is plus 290 underdog.
We got another Black Zillions versus American top team on this fight too. Fun ones start the night off, but 90% of you guys out there are going with Ryan LaFleur on this one. You know, and both of their records in their past 5 fights, they're both 4-1. They're both coming off one win, and before that, they both lost the fight before that. And it's not like Ryan LaFleur lost to anybody easy. That was freaking Damian Maia last year, or almost 2 years ago now. So, what are you looking for in this fight?
I feel it should, be kind of back and forth to start it off, but I feel LaFleur will probably edge it out. I feel like he's probably better on his feet.
Decision one, right? That's what I'm feeling here.
Yeah, I feel it'll be a little back and forth, but I feel LaFleur will be more technical with his strikes and will probably land a lot more than Ron Carnero. But it's just not a fight I'm looking really forward to betting on. I don't like looking at lines with that much juice on it. With something like that, you would have to take a prop bet. And to be honest, I've looked at the tape a little bit, but nothing stands out for me that's a cut and dry decision or a cut and dry knockout win by either or.
I was a big fan of LaFleur. He's beaten some big names in the UFC, but he doesn't fight that often. He's 12-1. The only loss he has is Damian Maia, and we all know what a beast he is. His last fight was against Mike Pierce, and then he has a win against John Doomsday Howard, who I actually got to interview. He has a win over Quinn McGee, and then Santiago Biba, who I'm a big fan of as well. All of those names right there are all top-ranked dudes, and the welterweight division is stacked. Your only loss is against Damian Maia. I'm going Ryan LaFleur on this one. Moving forward, another exciting one. I actually interviewed both of these guys. You got Philip Nover, who was on that season of Ultimate Fighter. Dana White saying that he was going to be the next Anderson Silva, up against Rick Glenn, who made his debut not too long ago. And it was on a short notice. He did lose that fight against Evan Dunham, but he made a splash because it was he did a lot better than a lot of people thought he was going to do. And they felt if he had a full camp, he could have that win. So, I remember interviewing him when he was fighting for Victory. He fought for Pure FC, World Series of Fighting. Now he's making a splash on the UFC card, but you're going up against Nover, who really impressed me in his last against the former champ, Renan Barão. That fight went to a decision, but remember, Barão found himself in trouble later on in that fight. Barão has been doing that good lately. And for a co-main event, that was an amazing fight for Philip Nover. I was nervous that maybe they were going to let him go. He needed this win against Barão, didn't get it. But now they're giving him the test to see if he can take out Rick Glenn. But really, this is really a big fight for Rick Glenn, if you ask me. I'm not leaning towards him, though. I'm taking Philip Nover. Let's give our listeners the odds for this one here, Garrett.
Rick Glenn is a minus 174 favorite, while Nover is a 1 underdog, which is kind of surprising to me, I believe. I should be a lot closer than that. I don't think Glenn, maybe the records kind of dictate that a lot, I feel, when Vegas probably put out this line. But as far as skill set goes, I feel Philip Nover can definitely take it to Rick Glenn in this fight, just like you do. The dude can fight, and I think he has the skill set to possibly come out of there with the upset win. Sure.
So 73% of our listeners going with Rick Glenn to win this by decision. And some people even think that they're gonna get a knockout out of this one. It could happen. It could happen in any fight. But I see this one probably going to a decision. Let's not forget Philip Nover's not too bad when it comes to the submission game either. So I'm taking Philip Nover on this one. Who do you got for this, Garrett?
Yeah, I'm taking Philip Nover as well. I believe he could, if he's able to get in close, he can definitely out-grapple Rick Glenn for sure. Get him up against the cage, possibly take him down, and he does have some good jiu-jitsu. He has the chance to end the fight. I do think.
So moving forward here, Ian McCall versus Jared Brooks. Everyone on social media is going nuts about this. A lot of people are rooting for Brooks on social media, but if we look at that apology, man, everyone is staying with Uncle Creepy Ian McCall. I've talked with Ian McCall a couple times, been trying to get him on the podcast as of late. Made plans. Quick update, guys. Ian McCall is no longer on this card. How it goes, because remember, he has pretty bad hands. He had hand surgery before in the past a couple of times. He actually debuted this division in the UFC in that epic fight against Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson, who I still think Ian McCall should be champion. He's the one that I remember beating Mighty Mouse, but the just thought the other way. That was almost 5 years ago now. But Ian McCall making a statement in this division since day one. So not been able to land too many fights though. Every time they set up a fight for this guy, it always falls through. Now they're giving him Jared Brooks, who's undefeated, making a huge splash in the UFC or MMA underground. What are the odds going into this one, man? This is going to be a great fight.
Yeah, I'm actually very excited for this fight. I've been looking forward to it all week. Jared Brooks is a slight favorite at minus 125, where Ian McCall is a slight underdog at plus 115.
Does that surprise you at all? This debut fighter coming in here to fight Ian McCall, who is no slouch on either the ground or the feet.
I mean, yeah, definitely. I'm very surprised that they're giving Brooks the favorite tag here. I thought McCall would be the slight favorite, and you know how they love to give all these newcomers and on their debut they love to give them dog money, which I was hoping for because I wanted to cash dog money, but I gotta take what Vegas gives me.
I can't wait to see how this fight plays out. Like I said, I'm staying with Ian McCall on this one. Moving forward, Nick Lentz making his way back to the octagon, going up against Makhachev. An exciting fight as well when it comes to wrestling. Nick Lentz got a pretty good all-around game training down in Coconut Creek with the American Top Team. Fans, 59% of you guys out there are going Makhachev on this one. This was a hard one for me to pick. I'll talk about in a second. What are the odds here?
Well, Makhachev is a pretty decently favored fighter in his 310, where Nick Lentz and his veteran plus 255.
Oh man, this is a tough one, guys. Nick last two fights wins, one over Danny Castillo in split decision. One after that was about 4 months ago, where he beat Michael McBride with that knockout ground pound. So this is such a tough one. And then you got Makhachev coming off that win, same amount of time, 4 months. So both guys fresh. If you beat somebody like Chris Wade, who was 11-2 at the time, and then you got Nick Lentz in his last fight beating Michael McBride the way he did. This is set up for an exciting fight. Not many people out there are talking about it. I'm leaning towards Nick Lentz here, but I wouldn't be surprised if Makhachev's wrestling frustrates Nick Lentz. What are you leaning for? I'm thinking Makhachev.
I'm leaning towards Nick Lentz in the underdog play. I mean, you have great value on someone who's a veteran in the sport. He's been there, done that. I feel like he has the right game plan and should be able to game plan around Makhachev's grappling. Makhachev's grappling is top notch, but if Nick Lentz can't get around that and actually pressure Makhachev, it could be a completely different game.
Lentz sets that high piece.
Exactly. If he's able to, push pace, be the aggressor, and have Makhachev fight with his back against the cage, it's gonna be hard for him to, take him down when he's up against the cage, stopping Lance from taking him down. So I feel like it's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be more evenly matched than Vegas is making it out to be.
Well, let's not forget Nick Lenz got amazing kicks as well. Very strong kicks, good takedown defense. Makhachev, man, I like Nick Lenz on this one. I can see it going that way, but like I said, this is a tough one, man. This is definitely a tough one. Really, Makhachev just had a great wrestling game, and Nick Lenz, he's definitely more of a veteran here. I think I'm gonna change it, man. I think I'm gonna lean towards Nick Lenz to win this one as well. I'm swayed. All right, moving forward. This is another exciting one. This is so me and you were when I called in. You were saying that you're not too excited about this card, and I understand that, but we've been getting so many amazing cards lately that we haven't had to pay for. We've absolutely spoiled with the free FS1 card. That now you got this pay-per-view, not the strongest undercard, but when it comes to the main card, it's a sellout. You're gonna have to watch. Pretty much, it's giving all the good ones for the main card, but there's some definite sleepers on here.
No, I agree, definitely for sure. Like I said earlier, I'm very big on the Emo and Jared Brooks fight. As far as the undercards go, that fight, and I mean
And
this fight could be.
One. I'm looking for the Philip Nova one as well, Rick Glenn.
Yeah, that should be also a great fight. I'm a big fan of Brooks. After looking over his past few fights, I'm just a very big fan of him, and I feel he could be somebody to be reckoned with in that flyweight. Yeah, in the division, man, I'm all over him beating on McCall in that fight, and possibly maybe making a run in that division. I mean, since there's not too many great people that can really, try to beat Mighty Mouse, and who knows, maybe down the line he has a shot at it.
Well, if you're making your debut against Ian McCall, Uncle Creepy, who's made a name for himself in that division, you're gonna make a big statement if you get that win. Moving forward, we got Wilson Rice against Yuta Sasaki into this one. Not many fans out there going for Sasaki on this one. I'm not either. I think Wilson has what it takes to take him out, and you can possibly might be Utah's last fight. What are the odds going into this one, brother?
Well, it looks like Wilson is the biggest favorite on the night at -605.
Wow.
Where Yuta Sasaki is a +505 underdog. There's absolutely no play to be made on Wilson unless you're taking him in a prop bet.
And you know what? If you look at the stats, man, it's pretty close with these guys. I mean, I know I'm as well, but I'd put in maybe 5 on Sasaki with those odds.
I mean, absolutely not. I mean, at that point, it's just a value bet. It's not bad to even think about putting something very small on Sasaki winning, because I mean MMA is very unpredictable. I always stress that it's one of the most unpredictable sports to wager on, and sometimes you gotta take a risk, and sometimes it does pan out, sometimes it doesn't. But I've had times where I've able to hit on a +1,000 odd bet because of the unpredictability of the sport.
Oh man, But you know what? Sasaki's half a foot taller than Wilson as well, and we know that can definitely play advantage for the most part. But he doesn't. I mean, Wilson is definitely gonna have more velocity in his punches, but the grappling and submission game of Sasaki is nothing to be overlooked. I mean, coming out of Japan, he's a young fighter. He's coming off a win from UFC Fight Night back in May against Willie Great. But not too many amazing fights here in the UFC in that flyweight division. Oh man, I like those odds if you're gonna put some money on it, in my opinion, because it's. I don't understand why it's that much of an underdog here, man. That's surprising me. But like I said before, I heard the odds. I was leaning towards Wilson to win this.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much to play to be made in here. It's either you don't touch the the fight at all, or you play Sasaki for a very minimal amount. Um, the juice on it is just ridiculous. You can't play Wilson at minus 605. I don't care how much money you got. I mean, it's not worth it. For God forbid anything, Wilson gets caught with a knee or anything of the sort, and then there goes your money. It's not worth it.
Yeah, Wilson's got pretty good jiu-jitsu. He's got amazing ground game as well. I'm looking forward to see what happens in that fight, as well as I look deep into that, see the odds and everything. So moving forward now, Bilal Muhammad. You guys recognize him from Pure Evil MMA Halloween Massacre episode. We had a blast talking with him. Big fan of Ninja Turtles, Power Rangers, and stuff like that. Told me that he's absolutely terrified of Chucky. Pretty funny interview. Great guy to talk to. But going into this fight, man, Randy Brown is no joke, brother. Randy Brown, rude boy, on a 2-fight win streak right now. So Bilal Muhammad into a rocky start. He had a great first fight on his debut. Remember, he's coming out of Titan FC. He was the champ over there. He gets a late call to fight Alan Gilbon on short notice. Loses in a unanimous decision, but in that third round really shocked people. Coming back almost beaten and finishing Alan Gilbon up until the final seconds. Then he got that win in that ground and pound against Augusto Montano. That was amazing. That was only a couple months ago, and he recently blew it right after we talked with him for UFC 205. His original opponent backed out of the fight. He got busted, and then they replaced him with Vicente Luque. So Bilal still wanted to stay on this card, took the fight on short notice, wasn't ready to prepare for Vicente, and boy, he was lights out. So I really hope that Bilal Muhammad gets the win here, but Randy Brown is probably getting my vote on this one. What are the odds looking like here?
Randy Brown is a slight favorite at minus 130, where Bilal Muhammad is plus 120 underdog. As well as for my pick, I'm taking Randy Brown with utter confidence. I feel he's going to be way too fast with the strikes, way too fast on the feet for Muhammad, who is a counter striker. He tends to wait for his opponent to strike first, and then, hopefully hope that he misses, and then, counter with a hook. But Brown's going to be way too fast, way too quick for him. If he's able to push the pace, I mean, also Brown is a good grappler. He can easily take Muhammad down and throw some ground and pound. You can submit him. He's got some submissions in his game. I mean, he's an all-around good fighter, and I feel like he's just all around in every aspect a better fighter than Muhammad is.
Really? Whew. Well, when it comes to takedowns, I definitely think Bilal gets it there, but Randy Brown's not that bad when it comes to that. Just a quick summary on Randy Brown coming into this fight. He's on a 2-fight win streak, 9-1 record, fighting out of Queens, New York. So being on the East Coast, I gotta love him. He's a very well-rounded fighter, without a doubt, definitely. He's a tall dude too, at 6'3". Bilal Muhammad, like I said, I really want him to win this, but I really think Randy has what it takes to finish Bilal. But Bilal's a tough dude in every round. You only got 3 rounds to work with, and like you said, Bilal likes to counter. He's a counter fighter. Did a great job in that matchup against Augusto Montano, because Augusto was always pushing the pressure forward, and he was landing a lot of those counter fights, counter strikes. So this is another interesting fight. I'm rooting for Bilal in my heart. My head says Randy Brown. I'm taking Randy to win this one. So now, this is the one that I'm really excited for. Out of any fight on this card, I'm interested to see how this one plays out. Dustin the Diamond against Jim Miller. This is when things start getting fun, guys. We got some big recognizable names for all of our casual fans out there. Dustin the Diamond coming off that loss in his last fight. I was so pumped up to see the fight against Michael Johnson a couple of months ago, and Dustin ran into some trouble there. He got knocked out quick, and it was hard to watch. It was hard to watch because I'm a big fan of Dustin. That was his first loss up until the last fight that he had with Conor McGregor, and he put together this amazing win streak, moves up a weight class. He trains down with American Top Team, Jim Miller, who has the record for the most wins in UFC on a 3-fight win streak against 3 top guys. You got him beating Takanori Gomi. You got him beating Joe Lozon in that rematch, which wasn't lived up to what the original one was. And then you got Thiago Alves. Jim Miller looks like a beast coming into this, but I like Dustin to win this by decision. What are the odds here?
Dustin is a pretty heavy favorite at minus 400, where Jim Miller is a pretty big underdog at plus 355.
Oh yeah, 80% of our listeners actually going Dustin to win this. I love his striking, his accuracy, always puts on great fights, and he's got power that can just drop anybody. But when you're talking about Jim Miller, man, it's hard to drop that dude. It's hard to drop Jim.
Yeah, I'm going with Jim Miller on this one, actually.
Because of the odds,
I feel,
you like the odds on this?
Yeah, I feel the odds are about right, and I feel you can get some good value on Jim Miller. Jim Miller's not a slouch. He's coming out with 3 big victories. Okay, 3 in a row. It's kind of disrespectful giving him a 3-1 underdog. That's 3.5 to 1 underdog. It's kind of crazy. Jim Miller's a lot better than that. He's a veteran. He can take a punch. He can deliver a punch
too. He looks as good in the first as he will in the third.
Yep, and he's a great wrestler. Okay, so if he's able to, avoid the punches and the power of Dustin, he could essentially take him down. And use some ground and pound to maybe possibly ground out a decision victory. And who knows, he can knock out Dustin. Dustin has a chin that's been knocked out before, recently being against Michael Johnson. So anything could happen. And with the odds there against a veteran coming off a 3-fight win streak against some top level competitors, I'm taking Jim Miller.
Yeah, I'm still sticking with Dustin here. I'm pretty confident in his win, but it's definitely more evenly matched than the odds are saying it is. That's for sure. And one thing I'm looking forward to in this fight is the verbal attacks of Dustin the Diamond when he gets all pumped up inside and during the fights. I always love the energy that he brings to his fights. Jim Miller is a perfect veteran to really showcase Dustin's skills if he can get around it. That would really put him back on the map if he can get this win. If he gets the loss, though, Dustin the Diamond's going to be sinking, and I definitely don't want to see that. He's still ranked 10th in that division. Miller is still unranked, so this would be a huge win for Miller, and this would put a lot of steam in his pot for sure. So, love to share versus Jared Cannonier. I'm looking forward to this one as well. Like I said, man, I'm looking forward to this entire card. When I originally looked at it, I understood because we've been spoiled lately. We've literally been getting so many free cards. We've just been sitting back enjoying all the stars for free. Well, not necessarily because you got to pay for your cable bill, right? So it's not necessarily free, but Glover Teixeira moving into this fight, he lost his last one. Wasn't too happy about that against Rumble in that very first round. That was 5 months ago. You're coming up a knockout 5 months ago, going against Jared in this one. So what are the odds looking in this one? I can tell you that the fans definitely rooting for Glover, but I'm kind of worried for him.
Glover is a good favorite. He's minus 215. Or Jared Cannonier is plus 170.
Cannonier. I love saying that like a pirate. Captain Cannonier. It's ending in the first round. No matter what happens, it's ending in the first round. That's what I
think. I agree with you there for sure. Both these guys got heavy hands, and someone's getting their head, knocked off their shoulders. And to be honest with you, I just have this gut feeling that Glover Teixeira is going to get his head knocked off his shoulders.
Well, because Jared's an amazing boxer, let's not forget, and he has amazing footwork. That's all I was pinpointing in his last fight was how amazing he was doing in his last fights. I mean, there weren't really anything too exciting in his last fight, but before that, he got the knockout against Asker, so that was still last year. I think he's going to be able to, when you see a fight like this, when a fight can really propel somebody, you got a veteran like Glover Teixeira, all that training and hard work is really going to come into dedication here in this Glover Teixeira fight, because Glover is not going to be relentless at all. He's going to try pouring it on Jared, and that's going to allow Jared to excel all of his skills and really have to dig deep to get this win. So this could be a huge fight for Jared here. I like it. I'm worried about Glover on this one, man. I'm worried about Glover. He could definitely surprise me, though, because he's done it so many times in the past. I'm a huge fan of Glover. Let's not get that wrong. He trains right here in Connecticut. He's got amazing jiu-jitsu if it goes to the ground. If it goes to the ground, I'm leaning towards Glover. On the feet, Jared's footwork and boxing skills takes the cake for me. I don't expect this fight to go any further than the second round, though.
No, I agree. I feel it's going to be a very entertaining fight. I just have Jared possibly getting a knockout win here, as he, a decent sized dog. I know a lot of people are going for Glover just because he's a hometown. He's in the area. He's from Connecticut, so he's close by, and he's very likable, and he's the third ranked light heavyweight, and I feel
this would be huge for Jared to get a win. You're getting right on the rankings.
Yeah, he's not a slouch either. He's 9-1. I mean, he's got some good victories under his belt, and I feel like it should be a lot closer than what Vegas is showing. And I really think Jared can come through with probably one of his biggest win of his career.
Yeah. And you know what? It's going to be hard for Glover to get the takedown here. This guy is just a monster. I'm leaning towards Jared on this one. If you guys aren't that familiar, we do the show for you. That's why we're doing this, because I know a lot of you guys out there, you see the name here, you're like, oh, Teixeira, I'm familiar with him, let me put my neck. You got to look deeper than that, though. You really do. On a fight like this, I'm going for Jared. Moving forward, another fight, which is similar when it comes to somebody that they don't really expect going to win. You got Jacare Souza against Tim Boetsch, who's right here from PA. We got a lot of listeners from the PA area. I wouldn't be surprised if Tim wins. I am rooting for Jacare. He's been on a roll lately. I mean, his last loss was against Well, and we all remember what happened there. That wasn't the most exciting fight. I almost fell asleep during that. But then in his last fight, he beat Vitor Belfort. Tim Boetsch, no joke, though. On a 2-fight winning streak, beating Rafael Natal and also Josh Salmon. Rest in peace to Josh Salmon. What are the odds going in here? I know that, last time I checked, it was a pretty big stretch between.
Yeah, Jacare Souza is the second biggest favorite on the card at minus 550. Tim Boetsch is a plus 425 dog.
See, man, this is a tough fight for Jacare. Not many people think so, but I think so.
No, I agree. I mean, Tim Boetsch can knock you out with one punch and at any moment. I mean, Jacare hasn't been looking like he has been in the past. I mean, he's not as ripped as if you saw in the weigh-ins, he's not as ripped as he was in the past. I don't know if that's gonna really make a big difference in the way he's gonna fight. I mean, obviously you can't play Souza at minus 550. I mean,
This is a really risky fight for Jacare if he loses, man, because he's right in the circle for that title fight against Bisping. You got Yoel in that circle. People are even saying if Anderson Silva wins tonight, that he could be next. They might just jump rope Yoel and have Anderson go in there against the rematch. If Jacare loses, say goodbye for a little while to get back to where you are right now. And with this stretch here, man, Tim could win, man. Tim could win. He's been looking really good lately. I know that I'm rooting for Jacare to win by submission, but I think it's going to be a close one. A lot closer than a lot of people really think. And I don't see it ending early either. I see this probably going to the third round.
No, I agree. I feel Souza, if you want a smart bet, you take Souza by submission.
Yep.
You get the line down to minus 105. But if you want some value, like some really good value, you take Tim Boetsch by decision at plus 598. pretty. That's no, I'm sorry. That's actually for him to win inside distance for a knockout, pretty much.
Which means what for our listeners out there?
Inside distance is whether he wins by submission or knockout. You're just pretty much saying he's going to win before the bell rings, in the third round. But I'm sorry, I was wrong about the odds. It's even better if you take Tim Bosch by decision. It's plus 1,100. That's 11-1 odds.
Which means what exactly?
Plus 1,100 is 11-1 odds. That means you win 11 times your money. You put up $5, you're winning $55. So
how about that?
I like those odds.
How about that?
I like those odds. Yeah, I know, right? Those odds are crazy, and I feel like it could happen. It could definitely happen.
I think it definitely has a great chance of happening. I really don't see this fight ending early. The strength of Tim Jacare, people are saying that he's going to go for the submission. I think so too, but that's not going to be easy, especially with the wrestling that Tim's got.
Yeah, he does have good, takedown defense. For the most part, it's just one of those fights where I'm a big fan of Souza, and I want to see him win, but I would put my money on Tim by knockout at plus 600 or Tim by decision plus 1,100. Those are really good plays for very, very good value.
I'll tell you what, it's going to look awesome. Even though that he's a huge favorite, this will cement him even further of a promising title shot if he gets a win over Tim, because, like I said, Tim looks good. So let's move forward. I'm glad that we broke that one down, because those are some crazy odds, man. $5, you win $55. All right, so Anderson Silva going into our main event really needs to put things together. He really needs to win. He's going against Derek Brunson. This is not an easy fight for Anderson Silva at all. And this is a very dangerous fight for Derek Brunson as well. You can be on a 2-fight losing streak after picking up that steam of your the win streak that he put together not too long ago. I mean, Derek Brunson, let's go back. He's coming off that loss to Robert Whittaker 2 months ago. He got knocked out 2 months ago, guys. That scared me to see. You're not going to see the full Derek Brunson coming off a knockout. He's not going to be 100% fresh. Anderson Silva is a very dangerous guy, but if you look at his last 5 fights, there's not a single win in there. Fight with Nick, they actually took back. It wasn't a win. It was actually a draw. So Anderson really needs to win. He had that fight against Bisbing where I picked Silva to win. I still think he won that fight. Still think Herb should have called it. Still think it was BS. Anderson Silva with the huge adrenaline dump after thinking that he finished them, then finds out he has to go back in there and finish the fight for 2 more rounds. Bisbing came back to win it. Then after that, Silva tries to get that fight at UFC 100, which was on like 24-hour short notice against DC. He didn't have that in that fight for 24-hour short notice, but he still lost that. This is awful for Anderson Silva, especially one of the greatest of all time. Derek Brunson can definitely put another notch into his win column if he had a win over Anderson Silva. What are the odds in this one? I'm interested to see.
Derek Brunson is a decent size favorite at minus 155, where Silva is plus 135.
Derek Brunson's got speed and power, but man,
As
so
far
does
as
Anderson Silva.
I like Silva in this. I feel like he could come back. He can get a big win here.
I do too.
Give him some momentum. I feel like it's gonna be back and forth. Silva just has to not get caught. Not get caught with a heavy hand.
Well, here's what it is, man. Silva can't be playing the games like he always plays. I get so frustrated when I see him going in there and he's doing like what he used to when he was a younger Anderson Silva, saying, hit me. Dude, didn't Chris Weidman teach you a lesson by doing that? Come on. You can't do that, especially against Derek Brunson, who's going to drop you with just one jab. You got to care if not, Silva doesn't have some of the best skills of getting out of the way of punches. If you take one of Derek Brunson, it's going to be trouble, man. It's going to be trouble.
Yeah,
I think Anderson Silva will win this by a vicious. I think he's just going to break Brunson down with kicks. I really do.
I like Silva here too. He like I said, he's gonna come back with a vengeance, and he's gonna put it all together, and finally get the victory that he deserves. Even though he should have, like you said, he definitely beat Bisping in that fight. I don't care what anybody says. That should have been stopped, and Silva's definitely gonna get the win here for sure.
Freaking Bisping, man, what a monster he was last year. Jesus.
Fighter of the year.
Just proving everybody wrong, man. That was something else. That's something I'll never forget was that fight with Anderson Silva. That's gonna give you so much confidence. That's a huge confidence booster, especially after getting knocked out and coming back to win it like that. But like I said, if that fight was anywhere else, it probably wouldn't for Silva. Let's not forget it was Michael Bisping's birthday over there in England.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to Bisping, I mean, he's the only fighter that I know that looks worse than his opponent when he wins.
Yeah, literally. That was brutal for him last year. The win over Luke Rockhold, win over Dan Hendo, and then that win over Anderson Silva. But looking forward, a lot of people probably think my last comment saying I think Anderson Silva is going to win by breaking him down with the leg kick. Well, people are probably saying, Ed, he's been so trigger shy with that leg kick after he broke it the way he did. Yeah, but look at that fight with DC in his last fight. He was looking a little more comfortable with that leg kick, and he hurt DC with it. And DC took him down. And even when he was on top, even when DC was on top of Anderson Silva was able to stop any sort of attack on him by locking him up the way he did with his legs. This is an interesting fight. I got Anderson Silva winning, but it's 3 rounds. So how is it going to be finished? How do you think it's going to end?
I feel like it could go to the decision. To be honest with you, I do.
Brunson's going to come out like a bull, man. He's got to be careful of eating a shot of Anderson because Anderson's quick. It might not be as quick as he used to be, might not be as accurate as he used to, but that's still a lot better than a lot of the guys in the division. Like you'd say that. Some people aren't sold still yet, though. Even when he was reigning champion, people still didn't think that he was the best in the world. I totally got to disagree. Anderson Silva will always be one of my favorites. So Holly Holm versus Jermaine Durandamy moving forward. Let's start off immediately with the odds.
When it comes to the odds, we're looking at it's a pretty close fight. We got Durandamy at -130 and Holly Holm at +120.
Holly Holm, we'll talk about her really quick to inform all of our listeners in case they haven't really been following the storm of Holly Holm. She got that win over Ronda Rousey. Before that point, and even was covering the fight for that point, I was saying I was never really that impressed with Holly Holm. I still didn't think that she had the deserved the shot to fight Ronda Rousey at that time because she was jumping up rankings like crazy. I think she was like ranked 7th or something at the time. She has to fight with Ronda Rousey. Rousey was coming off that win against Becca O'Hara. Picked up a lot of from that, and then months later she gets to fight with Holly Holm. I thought that was too soon. Holly, long story short, gets the win with that beautiful leg kick. And then loses her next 2 fights after that. Trying to defend the belt against Miesha Tate. She loses in the 5th round by Miesha Tate to rear naked choke. Then she tries to put things back together, fighting Valentina Shevchenko. She loses in a unanimous decision in 5 rounds. She only won 1 round out of 5 rounds. Now you're getting Jermaine Durandamy, who's on a 2-fight win streak. Her last loss was to the UFC champion, Amanda Nunes, in the 1st round. So this is a tough one for Holly. She's getting immediately a shot to get the title back. She can be back on top of the world with this one, but she has a test against Jermaine Durandamy, who's a monster in there, a champion Muay Thai fighter. I actually just got to interview her a couple of weeks ago. She said that she's never even seen the UFC title belt before in her life. So could you picture that moment of Dana White putting the strap, the historic 145-pound title around her? 65% of you guys out there going with Holly Holm, 35% for Jermaine Durandamy. This is a pretty close one when we're coming into odds here. Usually it's a landslide one way or another. 65 to 30 is pretty close, 10 points away from elite. If I put my money on Holly, how much am I winning going into the decision?
By decision, let me look it up right now for you.
Because honestly, can you see this fighting finished here, Garrett? They got
You know
5
that
rounds, but
I think Holm gets finished.
yeah,
I think she's knocked out. Yeah, absolutely. Sure. I do think she's knocked out. If Randy, gets a flush, shot to her head, she's getting knocked out. I don't care that she's never gotten knocked out in her career. There's always the right time for that to happen.
that's for sure. And that would really be a sour fight ever for her on 3 fights losing. That's awful. Especially since she was undefeated as well. She was just top of the world.
Yeah, no. If it's home by decision, plus 230. I mean, it's pretty good odds, but like I have Jermaine Durandamy winning this fight. I mean, she's faster, she's taller, she's stronger. Where Holly Holm dropped down in weight, was a taller, faster, stronger than her opponents, yet she couldn't capitalize on that. Having those advantages, she wasn't able to capitalize on them. Coming off of 2 straight losses, where Durandamy's coming off 2 straight victories, 2 by way of knockout, both of them by knockout. Okay, and she's knocked out 3 of her opponents and 3 of her 7 opponents. She knocked out in her in boxing. So I mean, she's got the pack virtually anyone in any division. And Holly Holm has to play pretty much. She fight on the outside if she have a chance to win, but she's not gonna have a time when Jermaine is gonna be in her face and pushing the pace and coming forward, putting her back against the cage, and just rocking her with a ton of heavy hands.
I always tell everybody that I like looking at the weigh-ins and stuff like that and trying to pick up the vibe and energy from the fighters. I've been looking at Holly Holm all week. She doesn't seem like the Holly Holm I remember. I love Holly. I do. I know a lot of you guys out there say I don't give Holly enough credit or whatnot, but I love Holly Holm. Here in this matchup, I'm not favoring Holly, but it's going to be a stand striking. People are saying that Holly Holm might try to take Jermaine Durandamy down. That could be Jermaine's weak spot. I don't know. I don't see that really happening, but it could. And then someone was telling me that Jermaine Durandamy's last couple of opponents weren't that much competition for her, which is absolutely ridiculous to say. I mean, look at Larissa, who was 10-1 and then almost was undefeated at the time. I asked Jermaine, I was like, what really changed the last fight against Amanda Nunes? I mean, if Amanda wanted to move up and take the fight, if you won the belt here on Saturday night, she said that she is a completely different fighter than she was in that fight with Amanda Nunes. And let's not forget, that was 3 freaking years ago. She hasn't lost since. She's learned a lot in that fight. I'm taking Jermaine Durandamy back in the 4th round, finishing Holly Holm. But I wouldn't be surprised to the decision. But that's what I'm knockout, 4th round, Jermaine Durandamy making history here.
Yeah, I got Jermaine Durandamy much earlier. I'm giving her a 2nd round knockout.
2nd round. Jeez.
It's not go rounds. She was not eating punches for straight rounds and being able to live another second.
I'm so ready for the fights tonight. I want to thank you, Garrett, so much for stopping by for another awesome episode of The Odd Tier on Pure Evil MMA. We're getting a lot of steam from all of our listeners. I got messages every week about everybody enjoying your insight here. So this rolling, brother. Like I said, follow Garrett tomorrow or tonight if you're listening in the morning right now. On Twitter, he'll be posting the fights. You can find me on Twitter at MMA. Garrett,
Garrett K MMA is GARRT K MMA.
Do you have an article coming out about the fights tonight?
I believe it should be out quite soon on the MMA Takeover. It's called "Take It to the Bank." Another segment, our 3rd straight one back to back is It's a great read. Breaks down all my favorite plays on the card, and which plays you should definitely make.
Garrett, thank you so much for coming on Pure Evil MMA, guys. Remember, follow us on Twitter. You can find us on Facebook as well at Pure Evil MMA, and subscribe here on YouTube, iTunes, or Podbean. Thank you so much, Garrett. Good luck in your bets tonight. Garrett, what's the blanket statement, brother?
Always remember to place wagers responsibly. Don't wager outside your means, and have a good bankroll management.
And always behave yourselves. Guys, good luck tonight on your bets. You're listening to Pure Evil MMA. I'm out.